All right, good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming to the presentation tonight. I am your professor for tonight, Eleanor J. Clark, Bachelor of Science, by the way. Uh, oh my God, that's so bright. Uh, so, first of all, what is movement? According to the Merriam-Webster dictionary, movement is defined as the act or process of moving. Revolutionary, I know. Uh, Typically in games, this is referring to specifically how you move your character and what kind of techniques or methods you can use. And each game has different approaches. Some are very complex, like Deadlock. Deadlock's got a lot of depth, and some of them are simple. And is there any video game movement that someone wants to tell me about that they're a really big fan of? Ultra Kill is a great example. It is kooky as shit, for lack of a better word. Anyone else? The dev is literally Finnish. So anyway, is there anyone else who has an example? TF2, very iconic. Rocket jumping is a huge thing. And actually, if you've played TF2 and you know the movement in that game, uh, a decent amount of the fundamentals will actually transfer over to Deadlock since it's a similar game engine by the same company. Anyways, one of the most basic things about movement and just getting around is move speed. I do not have pictured all of the move speeds for every character, but however, if you want to look at them all, it's on the Deadlock wiki. And each character has two different types of speed, one being their move speed, which is their base amount of speed, and their sprint speed, which is ramps up over time, getting to a max or total speed. And sprinting, you start gaining that speed whenever you're not attacking. Whenever you shoot your gun, or I believe when you cast an ability, it cancels your sprint, and you will go back to your movement speed. And both these values can be increased by items, such as, to like easy examples, Fleet Foot and Sprint Boots. These are both very simple ways to just make yourself go a little faster. Additionally, some characters' move or sprint speeds will scale with their spirit power, which that's your purple items. As you buy purple items, those characters will get faster, but you probably don't have to worry about it. I don't think anyone here plays a Grim. Do you play, like, are you interested in Grey Talon? Okay, there was some talk about Grey Talon, Drifter. Yeah, I don't think anyone plays a character like that, so that's fine. So sliding is a big thing in Deadlock. It can happen, or any character can do it at basically any time, and it is done by holding your crouch button while moving, which by default will be control. There's a speed stat required to reach that, to actually start sliding, which is 8.9 meters per second, which can be done either by going down a slope, which is very easy, and dashing and then sliding, also very easy. And all of the characters listed here are the ones that have high enough move plus sprint speed to just be able to slide without having to dash or go down a slope. And speaking of slopes, sliding, fastest way to get down a slope. Unless I'm forgetting something, but I don't think so. But the reason you would want to sliding gives your weapons infinite ammo. So as long as you're sliding, you can continue shooting. Also, some items increase the duration and distance of slides, and some abilities as well. And actually, I think that gives me a perfect opportunity to show an example. One of the characters in Deadlock, her name is Viper. One of her core character traits is Slither, which increases your slide distance. So if you buy Fleetfoot, for example, which increases your slide distance, just for example, she can slide up, up slopes, so I can do this. And actually, you can do this infinitely. So as long as I'm sliding, I have infinite ammo and will never need to reload. So that's really the main appeal to sliding, is just that infinite ammo. But back to the presentations. And by the way, if anyone has any questions, please feel free to stop me. Incredibly. It is incredibly unintuitive. Okay. Next thing, dashing. You probably already know if you've messed around in the game, but dashing is one of your core movement things. It can be done in the air or on the ground in any direction. Like, I don't know what it is, the 8 points of a compass, like northeast, northwest directions. But in any of those directions, you can do a dash by pressing shift, unless you've changed it, like I have, and it will consume 1 stamina. There are 3 buckets of characters with different dash speeds and move speeds while dashing. This first bucket here, these are going to be your fast dashers. They have the shortest dash that goes the fastest. Bucket 2 is a bit slower, and bucket 3 is the slowest. And an important thing to note, when you're in the air, you can only dash once before needing to land again. There is an item that changes that, but you don't need to worry about that right now. Just basic, you can only dash once before needing to land. Absolutely. I don't remember if I have something about stamina. I really probably should if I didn't. But you'll see this bar right in the center here. This is your stamina bar, and if I switch to a, I don't know, page, most characters have varying amounts of stamina from 2 to 4, and you see whenever I dash, it goes down, and that yellow segment there means that it is recharging. And once I use all of these, I have to wait for a stamina bar to come back to actually dash again. And back to the presentation. All right, any questions about dashing? It's pretty simple, but could be complex. All right, not seeing any questions. Let's talk about the dash jump. This is a very key form of movement, something you're probably going to be doing many times during a Deadlock match. And it's about as easy as it sounds. It is a dash followed by a jump. There is specific timing for it. It will be visually indicated by, as you can see here, the stamina wheel will turn blue while dashing. If you press the jump button while the stamina bar is blue, you will perform a dash jump. And this is something that you're just going to need to practice. You can't really do it on reaction, but you can do it through anticipation of like the window. And the worst case, if you don't hit it, you can just try again. And even with some experience, you're gonna mess it up. In fact, like earlier today, I was playing a match where I missed a dash jump, and I was like, "Oh, this will be a perfect to bring up." And I'm going to pop in the game real quick to actually demonstrate a dash jump. And like I said, with time, you're just gonna have the window memorized. Like I didn't even know about the blue stamina bar thing until like I actually went on the wiki today for this presentation. It's faster than a single dash. I don't know if I have a slide for wiggle, but I'll talk about it at the end. Speaking of being in things you can do in the air, down dashes and wall jumps. A down dash is what it sounds like. It's a dash done down, and it is done by pressing the crouch button twice while in the air. and it actually consumes half a stamina bar. Fun fact, there are things in this game that do half a stamina bar. Let me hop back into the game so I can show what it looks like. Downward dash is not something you're actually going to be using all that often, but it can be very handy if you want to, if you're above someone and you just got to get down there to actually like do something to them. Unless you have an interest in viscous, but that is a whole can of worms that I'm not going to open because I am not qualified to. I'm not going over dribbling. And just like a normal dash, a down dash can only be done once per airtime. And a wall jump, it's about what it sounds like. You get up next to a wall and you jump off of it. Generally, you're going to use this to gain height or maybe get some extra speed off of it. And the first wall jump you do takes no stamina, but every future wall jump will consume half a bar of stamina. But there are no limits to wall jumps. And some people who are crazy at this game, I recently saw a video I can't find for the life of me of a holiday player going from Hidden King spawn all the way around the map to Archmother spawn and all the way back to Hidden King spawn without touching the ground a single time. Those people I don't imagine have a job, but that is besides the point. Similar to jumping. Oh, a J asterisk B. Whew. A mantle. A mantle is something that you've probably seen in a lot of games. A lot of games have it. I think notably Fortnite. You get up to a ledge and you hold space while looking at it, and you can pull yourself up and over. It takes no stamina to mantle. It is completely easy, free and easy to do. And I know we're supposed to talk about the basics. However, this is a very basic piece of technique that you can use. It's called a mantle slide. So just for example, this is a mantle, right? Pretty standard. But if while you're doing the mantle, you hold crouch and forward, you get a nice boost of speed. And this is, I'm only including it because it's really easy to do and might provide some extra move speed to anyone who's playing the game. And it's really easy. Did I mention that? It's really easy. All right, what's my next slide? Okay, cool. So it appears as though I did not make a slide about double jumping. I do not know how I forgot about double jumping, but I did. So obviously you have your jump, because it's a game. You also, when in the air, can consume a bar of stamina to do a double jump. This is good because it can help you extend your aerial movement speed, as well as get you higher to mantle up something. Like, see here, I'm way too short, but if I do this, easy peasy. All right, I have to talk about that too. It is also one of those aerial abilities where, oh no, my camera froze. Sorry about that. It's one of those aerial abilities that you can only use once per airtime unless you have a specific item, enough beating around the bush. This is Stamina Mastery. It allows you to air jump, air dash, or down dash twice in the air, as well as giving you 2 extra stamina. For example, there's 6 things. But yeah, that it is also decent for its ability to upgrade into Arcane Surge and Kinetic Dash. Stamina Mastery is just good fun. And yes, zip lines. Each lane will have one, yellow, green, and blue. And to get on it, just look up at it, hold space, and you will start zip lining either towards base or away from base. And every, I believe it's 300 seconds, you get a zip speed boost, which allows you to get back to a lane really quickly if, say, they're pushing a guardian or walker or something like that. And while you're on here, you can crouch to get off, or you can jump, or you can down dash. It's the zipline's pretty simple, and it'll be your best way to get around. I did not mean to get an upskirt shot. It's your easiest way to get to and from lanes without too much thinking. I can actually go demonstrate that right now. But I believe that's just about everything. Is there any other just movement things I'm forgetting about, Nat? No, my camera! And in fact, it's actually a lot faster, because here, I'll just as an example, this is about how long it would take normally. Kind of slow. Damn, my camera won't start. Tragic. But you do this by crouch, sideways dash, double jump, and you get back on the zipline. Oh, I know what I didn't talk about. I did not talk about air strafing. So, Valve games, which is those are the creators of Deadlock, are very funny for how they treat you while you're in the air. Let's put it that way. It is actually slower. Let me see. Is there a input display? There is an input display. Nope, that is an input device. Guys, I'm so smart. Yeah, it's not that serious. But if you are in the air and you jump, you maintain all of your speed. So like, I'm not holding W here. I'm just holding left and right. And by doing this like turning motion, I'm actually going, like, I'm maintaining my speed. Which this is important to note, because if you were trying to do like a turn like that while holding W, it would look something like this. See how I kind of kept going in a straight line? So basically, if you're trying to turn while in the air, you're going to want to stop holding forward, which it has taken me years to get that out uningrained from memory. So do not feel bad. Yeah. In TF2, I was so bad at movement in TF2 because I gotta hold forward. I'm moving forward. Ah. Oh, that didn't work. Oh, because that's not the spot on this lane, is it? Is it here? Huh. Yeah, and then it'd do whatever. What did neither of us talk about? Yeah. You know what? While I'm here, since there's actually some kind of movement application to melees or heavy melees specifically, I can go over that. So basically, on your Q button by default, you can press that to do a light melee. I'll just come in here and get my ass beat by these guys. Does not do a lot of damage, but it can be good for finishing off a low health target. Or if you're playing the character Billy, he actually has very fast light melees. Yes. Now, if you hold the Q button, you can do a heavy melee. Now, Paige has like extra strong heavy melees. Don't worry about that. That does a lot of damage. And now, that seems like a whole lot of damage, and there's not much to be done. However, if I was to spawn... how am I going to do this? You as an enemy. Make you a mimic. Well, like, how would I make myself... How can I heavy melee myself while also parrying? Okay, you know what? I know how to do this. Basically, you have a parry that's on a cooldown. If you miss it, if you do land a parry though, it has no cooldown. And if a heavy melee hits, or it just heavy or light melee hits, and you parry it, the character gets stunned. It gives you a chance to do some extra damage. Do they? I have 200 hours on this game, and I did not know that. I did not know that. But if you see here, I'm like, oh shit, I missed the parry. Now I'm pressing the button, and I don't have it back up. So if you see someone go ding, and their fist starts glowing, it's a good time to parry. Now, of course, you can do this kind of stuff to like move around. Like we'll switch to like this is true. Right, let me go do the movement thing I was gonna do. Okay, I'm gonna do a little, can I just teleport myself? No, I can't. I'm just gonna do a little example of when you might want to use a heavy melee in movement. Just bear with me. And don't really worry about what I'm doing besides the heavy melee. If you do something like that, that will allow you to get next to the lip right there, and then you can mantle up. Let me do that again. Fuck. Ta-da! So something like that, where you just need a little more distance to mantle up something. Yeah, heavy melee is good. Sinclair is one of those. Here, let me just give myself a bunch of spirit power. And now I have really fast move speed. Doesn't feel that fast. It looks kind of fast. it feels so incredible to be just absolutely doomed in a scenario and then managing to claw your way out through nothing but your own mastery of movement feels fantastic. Like, check this out. So now imagine I'm... Actually, I can just be an enemy. Sure, we'll stick... And like, say I'm over here and I'm like, oh shit. Oh no, the enemy team's coming back. I gotta get out of here. There's a funny little spot over here where you can just... And then you're out. And it's easy as that. And it's just getting to do all these silly little moves is, I find it very rewarding. And I guess I should also ask, are there any questions about anything at all from anyone? Yeah, because like I said, I've got more than 200 hours on this game in the last 6 months. So go for it. Yeah. 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 Oh, let me try reloading. Yeah, so it can end up making your reload take really long. You said Bluetooth? Oh. In fact, actually, hold on. Check this shit out. Let me just don't mind me. Don't buy this item, by the way. It gets kind of ass. Oh, so you guys come here often? Oh, it's very funny, and they made it even funnier. On this camp over here, if you were to, say, stand right here in heavy melee, and heavy melee, and does it not work anymore? Oh man. It's actually a giant cone, so like if I was to melee here, it's still gonna hit, but if I get too close... Yeah, see, like, I can't actually see this creep, but I can just punch him. Because if you're not going to, the enemies are going to. They haven't programmed the bots to like do camps or bridge buffs or anything else like that. Go for it.
Is there a leveling system?
Yes. you have, hold on, let me switch characters. Fucking, who should I play, guys? Okay. So down here, you'll see this little orb thing. These are your boons. And you can see here, every boon will give you just a base amount of bullet, melee, spirit power, and base health. The numbers vary between characters, but you get those boons by collecting souls. These are boxes, for example. And collecting souls from any source, kills, boxes, creeps, passive camps, will all contribute to boons. You'll see boon received. So now I'm a little stronger. I've got a little extra spirit power, and notably, as you get boons, you get what are these called? AP, which if you're starting out in a game, you won't have any. You'll have one ability, and you can get more early on, as well as you get these boons, you can also level up your abilities. So that's why just killing things, even without buying items, will just make you stronger. Sliding. So your crouch button is going to be controlled by just naturally. And if you're moving, let's just stay on some stairs. And then I'm moving while holding crouch. And you start sliding. And if there's a big set of stairs, like somewhere over here, just go like this, and you're zooming. I wonder. Oh. Sorry guys, I need to try this this movement tech that I saw on Instagram. Fuck! Don't worry about it. Check that out. You cannot do that normally. Yeah, so any other questions? Too much steak. A steak? Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, get you out of that food coma by playing a game. Or something. Or be pumping in something. Probably? I'm not sure. I imagine so, just because Steam has, like, controllers. It's probably fine, and I was wondering about that earlier. It might give you, like, more control over your dash direction. Maybe not. The game's not, like, out. Okay. It's worth trying. I mean, as a born and raised keyboard warrior, uh, I can't really have an opinion on this. Your first person shooter was an Unreal. Okay, whatever. Yeah, but I think I'm just shocked by how old you are. What year was that? Okay, that makes more sense. Imagining someone's first time playing a shooter game being Unreal Tournament. Well, I'm imagining like modern Unreal Tournament though. Yeah, it was probably a lot different. Oh, let me end the recording. Tee.